Hi, my name is Arunima, and I've been an English educator for a decade. I'm a TEDx speaker and an author. Okay, so today we are going to take class 11th poem, A Photograph by Shirley Toulson. This is one of my favorite poems, and it's a very emotional kind of a poem. So it starts with, the cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she the big girl, some 12 years or so. So we see here that Shirley Toulson, the poetess, she is looking at a picture, okay? She has a photograph in front of her, which is probably framed in a way that it is on the cardboard, okay? So the framing is old. The cardboard shows me how it was. So how did it look like? Now she's looking at a picture in which her mother is just 12 years of age, okay? And she has gone with two female cousins of hers, okay? Where has she gone? Each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. They have gone somewhere, holidaying somewhere. And both the other cousins are holding her hand because she is the oldest one. Okay, she is the oldest one, yet she is only 12 years of age. Okay, so it's quite an old picture. All three stood still to smile through their hair. All these three cousins, the female cousins, these three, the mother and the two other girls, they are still, okay, because they are photographing themselves, okay, they are getting photographed. If you remember, I'm sorry if you will not remember, you belong to a different generation, but in our generation there used to be a very different kind of a camera, okay. Before these digicams came up, the camera, in the digicam you can see, now in the mobile phone you can instantly see whether you have clicked a good picture or not, but in those cameras you could not see. Okay, so that's why they are still, and we used to be more cautious whether the picture was good or not good and things like that. So these three cousins, they are standing still. Oh, we have to pose for the picture, and they are smiling through their hair. Through their hair, the hair is falling on their face. The smile is beside the hair. Okay, all three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. So there's the uncle who is taking the picture. A sweet face, my mother's. So one of these faces she's looking at is the mother's face, and she's saying, oh God, she's so sweet. She's so cute. That was before I was born. So even before, of course, at the age of 12, the mother could not have become a mother, okay? So she's saying that, of course, I was not there at that point of time, but my mother was looking so cute. Okay, when you look at your mother's childhood picture and think, oh my God, my mother was so cute, okay? Even though the mother should have this kind of emotion for the child is right now having this emotion, oh God, my mother is so cute, okay? Like really lucky people. I'm one of those lucky people whose children believe that my mother is cute. That's a very cute and loving relationship wherein the child also has a mothering emotion for the mother. And, Shirley Toulson has that kind of emotion for her mother. And the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. Now, terribly transient feet, of course, everyone knows it's alliteration, ter. So now she's comparing, she's saying, and the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. So what is the sea doing? It's washing their feet. Now, there are two things being told here apart from this. One about the sea, that it has changed less, okay? And about the feet of the mother, they are transient. Transient is temporary, terribly transient. Human beings, if you compare to nature, they are of course not as permanent as nature. Human beings have, a span of life. They are born and then they die. But nature remains. Of course, this is a way of looking at nature in the sense that you think about the trees living forever, the sea living forever, and things like that. So in that situation, the poetess is comparing that, my mother's terribly transient feet were washed by the sea, which has changed less. The sea does not seem to have changed at all. Some 20-30 years later, now after 20 to 30 years after this picture, okay, she would laugh at the snapshot. Okay, so who is the she? The mother, Right now, she is only about the mother, okay? She's thinking that maybe 20 or maybe 30 years later. So at the age of 32, she was 12 previously in the picture, right? So at the age of 32 or around the age of 42, like, this decade between 32 to 42, she used to look at the picture, okay? And she would laugh at it. Some 20, 30 years later, she'd laugh at the snapshot. And then she would comment, see, Betty and Dolly. So who are Betty and Dolly? Betty and Dolly are the other two cousins. See, Betty and Dolly. She'd say, and look how they dressed us for the beach. And then she's laughing, Looking at your old memories, you only laugh, All of us, when we look at our pictures, childhood pictures, we think, oh God, we were dressed so badly, you're looking so ridiculous. While the parents always think that, you're looking so cute. So the mother was also looking at her picture and she was saying that, look at this, how were we dressed, as kiddos. So probably they must be wearing something like, maybe a floral print dress or something like that. So she's kind of amused. She's like, enjoying and she's emotional, everything at the same time. Now comes the twist in the poem. The sea holiday was her past. Mine is her laughter. Okay. She's saying that for the mother who was 32 years old or 42 years old between this time, for her the sea holiday picture, that picture was her past. And Shirley Toulson, the poet's past is what? The mother's laughter. Okay, now she cannot hear her mother. This is the point of time when the poem turns out to be like really melancholic, very sad. Suddenly it dips down. All happiness, nostalgia suddenly comes down to this piece of information that the mother's laughter is a past. Mother's laughter can be a past only when the mother is not there. Both rye with the labored ease of loss. Now she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. And of this circumstance, there is nothing to say at all. It's silence silences. Okay, so suddenly we come to know that the mother is not there anymore. Okay, and so the fact is that she's of course she has to be disappointed, and she's saying that both. What are these both things? The sea holiday was her past, and her laughter, the mother's laughter is her, the poet's past, and both these facts, they are now turned into disappointments. Both rye with the labored ease of loss. This, when you lose someone at the moment, let's say someone died yesterday, okay, it will take you a long time, when someone close dies, okay, or when you are separated from someone whom you really, really loved, okay, you cannot instantly become happy. It seems like you want to die yourself, perhaps. No, it's so sad that you have to give a lot of time to it to somehow survive that loss or that separation, okay? So it takes a long time to fight that back, okay? And there is a lot of labor, okay? There's a hard work to get to this ease. Ease is, becoming easy with it, okay? So that is why labored ease of loss. It has taken a long time for her to be fine with the loss, to accept, yes, my mother is not there anymore. And that's the biggest loss, I think, With labored ease of loss, now she's been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. So that girl had lived for 12 years. It has been 12 years since her mother died. She had lost her mother 12 years ago. And of this circumstance, there is nothing to say at all. So she's saying that, despite the 12 years, it seems like, 12 years ago my mother died. But 12 years or 100 years are also not enough to, actually say that, okay, it's fine. Now at least I've started, I've learned how to live without my mother. Because mother's loss is the biggest loss. Because no one else will ever love you like your mother. In a normal lifetime, you will never find a person who loves you as much as your mother. Because a mother has unconditional love for you. Only very lucky people can find. Okay, and those very lucky people are like very few, So this is a circumstance where she says that, I don't have anything, I have no words about it. Because till date, I don't think I'm fine with it. It's silences. Silence can be of two types. One silence is that calmness, the happy silence, solitude. You're feeling right, really calm, and you can make your decisions, you can make plans, and you're very happy about yourself, your life. The other silence is a very negative silence. There is a void, there is hollowness. You feel there's nothing left. Okay. So the silence of the mother's death, because the mother is not laughing anymore, so the silence of the mother's death silences her. Okay, it's silence silences the silence, the situation silences the the poetess. So that's the explanation. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Thank you so much. Signing off, Arunima.